What's up, guys? It's your favorite reseller Morgan back again with another video. Today we're going to talk pro seller badge and metrics because it seems to be a super hot topic. I have done some testing with this to try to figure out how it works because I had the pro seller badge for a while and then I lost it, and then I got the rising seller badge. Now I'm at the advanced seller badge, and I'm trying to see if my theory has worked because it got me from nothing to rising to advanced, but I want to see if it works all the way through pro seller. I will keep you guys updated on that. But here we go, let's hop into it. So these are the 6 metrics required for pro seller badge, and there's some tricks in here that are important to know. Okay, seller accountable on time delivery. This is based off of your 90 days. You can download this report and it'll show you your on time delivery score. They want you to keep this at least at 95% for not just for pro seller, but just to have good metrics anyway. And that's just your orders are getting to the customer on time. So definitely run the report and see what orders come up there, and make sure that the orders that are counting against you, that you did get those out on time. That's why I'm not at 100% right now, because I actually did have some orders that were counting against me even though I did get them out on time. So I have a case that's opened. They agreed that the orders will be descored, but it takes, I don't remember what the case said. I think it was 7 to 10 days or something like that. I have to go back and look. But it takes time for it to update. So that's why mine's not at 100. So next, we're going to talk about seller accountable cancellation rate. So that's just the number of orders that you have canceled that were not because the customer changed their mind. So whether it be low inventory, and other reasons. Mine personally, I can tell you why some of mine are on here. I have been horrible at keeping track of inventory, especially the ones that are cross-listed. And also, I had a couple orders that were like blatantly fraud. And when I tried to cancel the order due to fraud, it tells you to send this email to like a fraud Walmart email. And they told me that it wasn't. And I refused to send the orders out because they were pretty pricey items. And like I said, they were obviously fraud. So I just canceled them. Okay, seller response rate. You have 48 hours to get back to any messages that you receive. Not all messages require a response either. So a lot of the time when I get messages about pricing, like, oh, your price too high or whatever the case is, sometimes I will reply explaining like why. And then other times I just mark as no response needed, which I think on Walmart is like duplicate courtesy greeting. Okay. Ironically, this is the one where I'm currently not meeting the metrics for pro seller, and this is the one that is super frustrating. So this is the percentage of items offering expedited delivery. So either A, your items need to be in WFS to be considered for expedited delivery, or B, your seller fulfilled items, you would then have to do 2-day or 3-day shipping on your items. I refuse to do that. But here's the trick. Obviously, outside of sending your stuff into WFS, what I've noticed when you download that report, a lot of the SKUs on that report for me are retired. And they're either retired or they are in transit. So you kind of have to time your shipments and when you add your inventory correctly in order to get the score to go up in time for the next badge cycle, which is going to be February 5th. Also, for whatever it's worth, I would open a case. I have opened a case to basically understand why are retired items on there and if they can be removed. So we'll see what happens with that. Content quality score. So basically you want to make sure that your listings are of good quality that you're choosing to list on, so that they have descriptions, they have certain things in there. If we come over to the sidebar on the left, there is a listing quality tab. If you click that tab, it'll then tell you the information needed for all of your listings. It'll give you a high, medium, low score, and you can modify the listings that way. However, I generally don't do that, because even when my score is low, because it's similar to Amazon. If you're not the listing creator, a lot of the changes don't always stick. Now, again, you can open a case. I have had success opening a case trying to change listing content and they agree. But again, that takes some time. And last but not least, the one that has everybody in a tizzy, the price competitiveness score. This is the percentage of your offer impressions priced competitively in the last 7 days. Okay, I am going to give you the secret sauce in how to keep this score up. I have tested this. This is tried and true. All of your items, and this is, I'm not going to lie, it's a pain. It takes a minute, especially if you have a big catalog. All of your items that you are no longer selling that are seller fulfilled, what is it called? Seller fulfilled WFS eligible. You need to retire them. If you are not currently selling it, retire it. All of your seller fulfilled items, so solely seller fulfilled, that have 0. Now, this is going to be up to you, but I highly recommend that you delete them. Not retire, delete. That is how I've been able to keep my price competitiveness score up. Well, 2 of the 3 things of how I've been able to do it. Now, you can retire your seller fulfilled inventory. However, something else that I've noticed is that a lot of your retired inventory will show up on this report when you download it. That is another thing I have asked them, and they have not been able to answer why those are coming up on there. So in the meantime, until we are able to figure that out, I highly recommend deleting it. If you really care about this pro seller badge, I highly recommend deleting it. Now, the third thing that is the biggest pain of them all, in my opinion, is your unpublished tab, where it is showing you all of your items that are unpublished due to quote unquote price gouging. So I take about half a day and I go through every single listing. I'm not just dropping the price to see where Walmart will reactivate me. I'm opening the listing and I'm checking to see what other sellers are selling the items at. Now, if I'm lower than the other sellers, at the same price as the other sellers, or even in between the other sellers, I will open a case, because they should not be telling you to lower your price if you are at the price of the buy box, if you're lower than the price of the buy box, or if you're in between the price of the buy box. The only way that you should technically be getting retired is if you're higher than the buy box. Also, it is important to go under pricing and pricing insights and to double check if there is a competitive listing listed for those SKUs. A lot of the time, the ones that are listed under unpublished are not in my pricing insights. So it's also important to see if there's a competitive listing, though, because the competitive listing could be at $40. Let's say you're at 30 and the buy box is at 35 and you're still getting unpublished. That's a problem. Open a case. So I take, like I said, half a day to go through each listing to see. Then on the listing, if I am too high, then I'm going to find a competitive listing that is within the price range that I'm at. Now, that's not always successful finding that. And then I may have to lower my price to something that I don't want to sell it at. Or you can create some listings on some sites somewhere that I'm not going to say, use your imagination, to use as competitive listings. So that is like the top 3 things that I do to keep my price competitiveness score up. You can see that mine has actually gone up recently. Something else that I really want to talk about as well with the price competitiveness score, please make sure, I know it's a pain, but please make sure that you are going on the listings to see where your price is between everybody else. And I say that because I personally tested an item where myself and a friend, it was me, my friend, and 2 other people on the listing, so a total of 4 people on the listing. I kept getting unpublished selling this item at $12.94, and I couldn't figure out why. So I went to the listing. My friend was on the listing at $12.94. Then there were 2 other people on the listing at $10.85 and $10.80. So I'm like, okay, fine. If $10.85 is not going to work, let me try $10.80. So I then go and try $10.80. I'm still unpublished. Or I'm sorry, $10.85. I'm still unpublished. I then dropped it to $10.80. I'm still unpublished. For me personally, this item was a seller fulfilled item. So I went ahead and I put 0 inventory, and I kept dropping the price just to see where it would finally activate the listing. It did not activate the listing until $7.99 with free shipping. Obviously, I was not selling the item at $7.99. There was not any money to be made there. But what I wanted to see was how low would it take. And also I wanted to see what would happen if I added one back into inventory, what would happen to everybody else. So I did that. I added one into my inventory just to see what would happen to the listing. Now, the listing was live. I went to the listing. I was on the listing. However, those other 3 people that were on the listing were then kicked off of the listing. So I strongly believe that is what is happening when it comes to price tanking, is that people are just lowering the prices, lowering the prices, lowering the prices till they get active, not realizing that really it's just a glitch because other people are on the listing at a higher price, same price, or in between price. So keep that in mind when you guys are dealing with your unpublished items. It is a big deal. Also, just for fun fact, I went ahead and I definitely took the one item off and went back to $12.94. Till this day, I am still unpublished. And ironically, my friend sold the item yesterday at $12.94, which is crazy because why am I still unpublished? So I also have a case open for that, also pending a response. So just things to keep in mind. Also for your badge metrics, these are things that you, excuse me, these are benefits of having the badge. Now, what I want to say about this faster payout, I think it's crap because I get early payouts like almost every day. And I mean, I don't know. I don't see an issue with it. They're pretty significant amounts. It's not like, it's 10, 20, 30, 40, $50. Like it's hundreds of dollars at a time. So I don't know. And actually my last one was over $2,000. So I don't know. I don't think that that's legit, but that's another story. But the good thing is that you do get 25% off on 2-day or 3-day labels if you use ship with Walmart. I do currently use ship with Walmart. I also use Vico sometimes. It just depends on pricing. You do also get rewards, capital offers, I'm sorry, and then review accelerator credits, so you can use this to get reviews on certain items. This is nice if you create new listings or if you have a listing where you feel like it could take off but there's not a lot of traction on it. When people place the order, you could use that. And then these are just my pro listing discounts over the last 90 days. So it's not even like that great because not all of I have over 700 listings active and not all of them are eligible for pro listing discounts. So keep that in mind. And that's why you see that it's only $29.02. Part of what goes into that has to also do with your price competitiveness and what Walmart thinks is fair, and I refuse to lower my price based off of that. So those are the things, those are the tricks that I've learned for Proseller. I personally work on this about once a week just to keep up with it and hope that my metrics stay. This one, the shipping score for me has been one that's gone up and down this week, but that is because I have added a significant amount of inventory listings into my catalog. So that makes sense because either A, they haven't checked into WFS yet, or B, they're seller fulfilled and I don't offer the free 2 or 3 day shipping. So I plan on getting my next shipment out today or tomorrow, and then hopefully that'll be checked in before February 5th so that the next cycle for the seller badge, I will be good to go there. And I will keep you guys updated probably on Instagram, but if you guys want, I can keep you updated here on YouTube as well. All right, thanks guys. Bye.